Integrated 3, it's problem 10-45, letter C. It says, I think I see it. I think we can separate the terms into two different arithmetic series shown below, kind of like unzipping a zipper. And so she's taking these two series, and all we have to do, or it says, how can you use Lorna's two series to compute the sum of the original series? Well, we could find the sum of the first series and then add that to the sum of the second series. So state the sum and describe your process. So what I would do is find the equation that gives me the terms of the first series, and then I find the equation that gives me the term of the second series, so that I could find out how many terms. So what I did, because I know all I have to do is this: n over 2 times the first term plus the last term. That's our formula for the sum of a series. But the problem is I didn't know how many terms were in this series. So what I had to do is I just look at it as being linear. It's adding 5 every time. So the slope is 5. So like, y equals mx plus b. So the slope's going to be 5 because it's going up by 5 every time. B is going to be the 0th term. So if I subtract 5 from the first term, I can find b, which is 0. So I got y equals 5x for the first series, and the second series is also adding 5 every time. So I put 5 as a slope, and then if I back up by 5, like 3 minus 5, that gives me -2. So that's the equation for the second term. But when we write these, since they are sequences, we want to use them in terms of t of n. But in this case, I'm not going to, because I'm short on time right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and find out what term number this is. So what I did is I said, I went over here and I said 400. I said 400 equals 5x, because I plugged in the 400 for the y to find out what x is. Divided both sides, and I found out that x was 80. So I know there's 80 terms in the first series, and I think there's 80 in the second, but I'm just going to check. So I just plug in 398 equals 5x minus 2, and then I add 2 to both sides, divide both sides by 5, and it's, again, I've got 80 terms. So then I can just go 5 plus 400, that's 405, times 80 over 2. 80 over 2 is just 40. And I got this sum for the first series, and then I did the first plus the last, so 3 plus 398 was 401, and then half of 80 is 40. Multiplied those together, I got this sum, and then I added them together, and then this is your answer.